down in 5th place. Patama led out of turn 11, the penultimate corner, but ultimately finished down in...
Didn't really see featuring yesterday. That's because he had a double long lap penalty. He starts second. Ryota Ojiwara only a 10th away from Patama in qualifying yesterday morning. So well worth keeping your eye on Ojiwara today. He could be the dark horse in this one. Obviously wasn't up there fighting with the other 5 riders as a result of that penalty yesterday. So could come in and pose a few problems. There is the Japanese rider, yet to taste victory, yet to taste podium success this season so far, but does find himself 6th in the standings, has finished 4th on 3 separate occasions, has got a 6th place finish twice as well, so he has been consistent, and you would have to say a little bit unlucky not to have tasted podium success yet. Will that change today?
He'll be hoping it does. He got a double long lap penalty for riding slowly in several sectors in Friday's practice. The rule was introduced after the riders were a little bit naughty, shall we say, back in Indonesia. Got pretty much a bit of everything as the Chang International Circuit. 12 corners, 7 right, 5 left, 4.55 kilometres long, and it lends itself to absolutely phenomenal racing. The riders then lining up on the grids, the green flag waves in the background. We're all ready to get underway for race 2 here, round 4 in Thailand. Who is going to win this one? We're about to find out. The red lights will come on at the top of your screens, and we are underway for race 2. It looks like a good launch again from pole position for Patama. Puetezan on the number 20, the Thai rider, race 1 winner, of course, gets a great launch from P3. Is he going to make a lunge up the inside at turn 1? No, he's not. So it's going to be Patama who leads from Puetezan. Can't quite make out who's in 3rd place. A good start. It's Matani, I think, who is in 3rd place. So a good start from the 2nd row from the number 2. Now the slipstream comes into play. Who's going to lead down into turn 3?
Here we go then, down to turn 3 for the first time. 3 abreast they are, and it looks as though it's going to be Zen Matani to hit the front. In fact, it could be anyone here. There's 5 guys all trying to take the lead. In the end, is that Patama that just sweeps around the outside? He goes wide though. Who on earth is leading in the end? It's the number 14 of Adaki that comes through in front. Deary me, it's gloves off already on the opening lap.
Turn 3, we saw that so often yesterday. So many different lines. The inside line, the wide sweeping line, down into turn 4. The fast 5th gear left-hander at the end of the 2nd back straight. Patama now leads once again. So Patama, like he did yesterday, didn't want anyone to lead for long, and he's back in the race lead. Negotiating turn 5. This is the start of the infield section. They'll fly through turn 6, then flick it right for turn 7. It's now Ogiwara, the rider who had a double long lap penalty. He's got a better start than he did yesterday. He's the number 16 rider we mentioned. He'll be hungry for podium success today after being so close to pole in qualifying, and he's got the horns locked into the rear end of Patama on this opening lap.
Poor start for Shinya Ozawa, the man that finished 2nd yesterday. He did start from 6, meaning he had a bit of work to do on this opening lap, but so far he's gone backwards. That's a brave move for turn 11 there. Is that Matani trying to squeeze through? I think it was. Meanwhile, at the front, it is still Patama that leads us into the final corner. A little bit wide there, though. Opportunity, perhaps, for the man behind Ojiwara to try and pounce here. He won't have got the best drive, Patama. Ojiwara's maybe going to have a look up the inside into the opening corner here. Not
the mid part of the race, and then, of course, on the last few laps, the riders started going for it again. But this is playing into the hands of the riders who are chasing in the lower ends of the top 10. In fact, just looking down at timing screens, Ozawa's dropped to, well, he was 10th across the line, but he's made it up back into the top sort of 5 or 6 there on our timing screens. As we cross the line, 10 laps to go. Adaki leading the way. Led the way all through that lap, didn't he, Adaki, apart from Patama trying to stick it at the inside at turn 5. But as we've seen pretty much every lap here in race 2, it's probably going to change down into turn 3 as Slipstream City becomes a thing once again.
Yeah, Ozawa will just be a little bit concerned there, down to 8th, and his biggest concern is the fact there's just a little bit of room starting to form ahead of him. The elastic is starting to stretch between these opening or leading 7 riders, and then the gaggle of riders behind us. Well, there's contact between Adaki and Puetezan. Somehow they both stay on. How on earth did Eamon Adaki not go down there?
Wow, contact down at turn 3. 2 riders trying to go for the same piece of tarmac. Adaki did so well to stay on the bike there. I thought that was pretty much game over in terms of the race for Adaki, but he did well to stay on. Yeah, contact made down at turn 3. That was a little bit too close for comfort. And as we say, the number 14 rider who led the race briefly on the last lap, did very well to stay on. He's not lost too much time, he's lost several positions, but it won't cost him too much. Let's get a replay of what happened there and look at Poitin on the number 20, down into turn 3, late on the brakes, gets into P1, Azawa hanging it around the outside, then Adaki just subs it up the insides, and then yeah, just as Patama's coming on to make a late apex on the racing line, it doesn't go 2 for 1 down there unfortunately, and Adaki just loses a bit of time. Thankfully stayed on board and didn't lose a whole host of time, lost a few corners. He's going to disrupt his rhythm on this lap, but he just needs to get his head down and recompose
whatsoever. As you can see there, confirmation, exceeding track limits, long lap penalty for the number 17, the Malaysian. As we focus on the front, high, wide and handsome there. Who was that? The number 15 of Fadilla, who was certainly taking the car park route. As we head down to turn 3 once again. And on the inside, it is Juara, the man that we said might be the dark horse in this one. He looks to hit the front. But in the end, it looks as though it's the 9 of Richie Takahira from row 3 of the grid has come through to now hit the front. Well, where on earth has he come from?
Takahira, race 1 winner back in Malaysia, the opening race of the season, but unfortunately for Takahira, he only stood on the podium once after that, and that was a P2 in Malaysia. So it's been a long time for Takahira to be off the podium, headed into the Japanese Grand Prix as the joint title favourite, but he now finds himself 76 points down on Patama, so it's not been the championship that Takahira would have wanted, and just like that he goes from P1 down to P5. That's just how quickly it can change in the Age Talent Cup, and just like that, Patama on the number 7 machine is back up into the race lead, as he so often does. His racecraft is very, very good, is the number 7, and chasing him is the number 20.
Slipstream in front of him is strong enough on the brakes as well, but he does run wide on the exit of turn 3, which gives Patama an opportunity to hit the front once more, which he does.
Oh,
this is
careful,
tight
careful.
Deary me. I'm sure he might get a bit of a finger wagging for that Patama, because he didn't leave Poitin much room whatsoever. He pretty much put him on the grass there, which he cannot do. Big moment as well, the front end bobble through turn 4, and as a result the championship leader has been demoted down to 7th. Well, we thought he was rattled a couple of laps ago. Those 2 moves there, firstly the one trying to stick Poitin on the grass, you cannot do that, that is unacceptable. And then he was, massive crash. Massive crash. I think that's Matani that's high-sided out of it.
It's Matani and Azawa have gone down. I think Azawa just collected the stricken bike of Matani. But yeah, huge crash down there on the exit of turn 7. Adaki leads the way from Patama, Takahira, Ojiwara and Poitin, who hopefully will see the riders up and walking away from the incident. But that was a huge crash down at turn 7. Matani, high side out of contention, then unfortunately it looks like Azawa, with nowhere to go, hit the bike of Matani and went down as well. Fingers crossed both of those riders are okay. At the front, it's left Adaki with a 7/10 lead over Patama, with Ogiwara, Poitin and Takahira in the lead group as well.
He has just splintered the lead group, that crash. Of course, it was Matani that high-sided out of 2nd at the time, and that has allowed Adaki now to have a 3/4 of a second advantage over the championship leader, who has recovered from that big moment at turn 4. In fact, that 3/4 of a second lead has been halved almost instantly down the kilometre-long back straight. Glad to report yellow flag still out as we make our way through turn 3 up at turn 7, but looks as though the incident has been cleared. The marshal's doing magnificent job to be able to get the incident cleared. As soon as we have information, we will let you know with regards to both Zen Matani and Shinya Azawa after that big crash, but we will focus at the front. 3.5 laps remaining. It was Patama that led for just a second, but Adaki manages to swoop back through as we go through turns 4 and 5.
Huge implications in the championship chase. Matani was 2nd, remember, 55 points down on Patama. Patama had just made that mistake and dropped to the back of the group. That's how quickly things can change. That's a little bit too close for comfort again between Adaki and Patama. Contact was made there on the exit of turn 7. They've just got to try and cool down a little bit here of the top 5. 4 and a bit laps to go. It's getting a little bit feisty out there. All the riders hungry to win. Patama knows that he's got a great chance of extending his championship leads and making Malaysia his time to potentially win that title. A long way to go though, 3 and a bit laps to go. Pratama leads the way once more. It's Partizan, the Thai rider, in second place. Ogiwara, Takahira and Adaki in the group as well. 3 laps to go here in race 2 of Asia Talent Cup action. Who knows what's going to happen?
And once again, Pratama has hit the front and he's trying to stretch out his lead. It's 0.4 of a second as he comes across the line. Small little bobble on the front as he tries to roll it through turn 1 there. Partizan, Adaki, Takahira, Ojiwara all need to work together here from 2nd to 5th to not allow Pratama to have it all his own way in his final 2.5 laps now.
They did it once, they can do it again, but they just need to box clever, as you say, Jack. Round turn 3 we go. All keeping it clean down there. The slow sweeping right-hander, important to get a good launch out of turn 3 and fire it up the next back straight. Near kilometre long back straight again, up to the top end of the circuit. The fast turn 4 coming up, and then it's the infield section. What we're going to get replay of here now, okay, I think it's going to be the crash. Watch the number 2 of Matani, just lights up the rear end as he comes out of turn 7. And then, yeah, unfortunately, Ozawa goes down with him. As you can see on the bottom of your screens, riders okay. That is fantastic news. A big crash on the exit of turn 7, one of the fastest places you can go down in terms of corners here at the Chang International Circuit. But great news, riders okay.
Now, 2.5 laps remaining. Pratama has still got that half a second lead here. This is going to be concerning for the riders behind, because it looks as though Pratama is, at this present moment, the favourite to be picking up a 6th victory of the season. He's going to have to take a big effort in the final 2 laps here, the final 9 kilometres of this Chang International Circuit, to stop Pratama from romping to victory yet again. And Adaki did look pretty racy in that final sector there. He's going to be trying his level best here to stop Pratama from getting away. 2 laps to go then. Pratama from Adaki, from Takahira.
0.3 of a second over the line. They'd got it down from 0.4 to 0.3, and as you can see there, the gap is pretty much nothing. It's going to be pretty much nothing if Adaki gets a good run out of turn 1 down to turn 3. He's in the slipstream of Pratama. I'll be surprised if a move comes this time around, or will we? Adaki in the slipstream, look at this. He's made up a good 0.4 there on Pratama, and the gap from 0.3 over the line is down to nothing.
Just look how late on the brakes VEDA Pratama was there. He was able to pull out 2 or 3 bike lengths in the braking zone alone. Fantastic stuff from Pratama. As a result, Adaki did not have a chance to even get alongside him. Now he's looking to try and get buried beneath the bubble and to get sucked along behind Pratama. He's there with him now. This is going to be promising for Adaki. As you can see, Matani and Ozawa will be taken to the medical centre for further checks. But good news is, riders both conscious after that big crash a couple of laps ago. 1.5 laps remaining, and still Pratama that's leading the way. Adaki chasing him down. It was 4.5 just a lap ago. It's less than that now. It's been great work so far from Adaki, but is that great work about to be stopped by Takahira? He's got his own interests at mind here.
5 riders, 3 steps on the podium to be taken. The Thai rider, Partizan, race 1 winner, is down in 4th place at the minute. He's got work to do if he wants to win this race. He's got around about half a second to bridge to Pratama. Turn 11 negotiated for the penultimate time. This is going to be turn 12, where it all came down to yesterday. Pratama leads the way into there. Adaki late on the brakes. He's going to make a late lunge just out of picture. Is he going to? He's been, well, Pratama's gone wide. Don't know if there was a little bit of contact there or whatever, but starting the last lap, then it is Pratama who leads the way. He led the way on the last lap yesterday and finished P5. Is a repeat coming? Who knows?
Here we go then, through turn 1, getting the perfect drive out of here. Absolutely critical. Pratama, I think he's going to be almost expecting for 1, 2, maybe even 3 red and white bikes to come alongside him here as we make our way through turn 2 and down in towards turn 3. Adaki's got the inside line. We saw how strong Pratama was on the brakes last time around, and once again, he is the superior man under braking. Pratama holds it through the vital turn 3.
Partizan makes a good move down at turn 3. He's now up to P3, was P5 half a lap ago, but the number 20 has locked his radars onto the race victory. Talking of locking radars, Adaki pulls out of the slipstream of Pratama. Down into turn 4 we go. The left-hander, the fast and ferocious left-hander, Pratama hangs it around the outside. Once again, late on the brakes. You don't brake much there, but just enough to make a move, and that's Partizan up the inside of Adaki, but thinks better of it.
So far, Pratama has ridden this final lap absolutely magnificently. Despite Adaki showing his front wheel not once but twice, Pratama has let the brakes off, just rolled around the outside and not allowed him a chance whatsoever. But is this the chance now for Adaki? No way through. We're into the final half a lap here. Options are running out for Adaki. Maybe he can tie through here. He comes up with something as we head towards turn 8 and 9. Brilliant. Big moment on the rear though, and now will allow Pratama to come back through surely. No way through. Somehow Adaki holds on.
It's all going to come down to turn 12 once again. Adaki leading the way. Pratama in second place, and the home hero number 20 of Pretsan in third place. Adaki takes the inside line. Pretsan late on the brakes. Pratama trying to hang it around the outside. Pratama cuts the inside, and Pratama's going to win. What a move on the final lap. What a win for VEDA. Pratama expertly done at turn 12, and the number 7 is a winner for the 6th time in 2023 and takes a huge leap towards claiming the 2023 title. Championship standings on your screen. 181 points, 74 now the lead heading to Malaysia. What a last lap and what a victory for Pratama. You can see there number 14 of Adaki, very, very disappointed indeed, but that was expertly done from the number 7. Hats off. He missed out yesterday, went from P1 to P5 at the final corner, but no mistakes were made this time around.
It was Marc Marquez-esque. The cutback performed absolutely magnificently from VEDA Pratama, just like the 8-time world champion pulled off on Fabio Quartararo to pick off his 8th world championship. You have to feel with a move like that, Pratama has just put one hand on the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup. A brilliant final lap. The first half he controlled brilliantly, and then it's time this season.
Yeah, champions victory that was from Pratama, to say the least. Adaki chucked it up the inside at turn 9. We didn't see that yesterday. Adaki making a good move up turn 9. Plenty of times in the years to come, I predict.
We've got the sound system sorted here, haven't they? That was
Absolutely, yeah.
absolutely blasting out. Fantastic. Just like the Dutch national anthem is now becoming synonymous with Formula One, you feel that the Indonesian national anthem now becoming synonymous with the Asia Talent Cup. The good news is, VEDA Pratama's riding is a lot better than his choice of sunglasses.
It certainly is. Here's race 2 highlights then from the Chang International Circuit. Pratama launching away well from pole position, just as he did yesterday. Pretsan off the front